Hey everyone, this is Pip, and we've been talking a lot about credit. We've been talking about all different types of credit, and we started off by talking about mortgages a little while ago. And with mortgages, there's two different types of mortgages when it really comes down to it. I want to explain the difference, and we're going to start first of all with a residential mortgage. A residential mortgage. A residential mortgage is going to be A residential mortgage is going to be generally 1 to 4 units. 1 to 4 units. And so that would encompass a duplex, a threeplex, a fourplex, anything like that. Now, when we are buying properties, even though it's a multifamily, threeplex or fourplex, duplex, whatever, we can actually call that a residential mortgage. And what does that mean to you? What does it mean to us as a real estate investor? Generally, on average, and I'm going to give you some averages, if you're buying what I would consider investment property, so what is investment property? Non-owner occupied property. You can get about an 80% loan to value. You can get about an 80% LTV, which stands for loan to value, on a residential mortgage. You're also going to generally be able to get a 30-year amortization. Hopefully I'll spell that word right. Don't like to spell that one. Get a 30-year amortization. Now, could you do a 15-year amortization? Of course you could. But we've talked about this earlier. Why would we want to do a longer amortization? Because we can pay monthly payments lower. So we pay a lower monthly payment. What's that going to do if we're paying a lower monthly payment? It's going to increase our cash flow every month. It's going to increase our cash flow every month. But what we really want to start to think about with our residential mortgages, and this is even single family houses, things like that, first and foremost, it's going to be something where they're going to check your credit on that immediately. So you go out and you start to look at a 1, 2, 3, or 4 unit property. They're going to look and see what is your credit score. They're going to look at your job income. They're going to look at all your other debts. So your debt to income ratios. Debt to income ratios. Now, I am not a mortgage broker. I don't play one on TV or anything like that. But what I do know for the most part is when you're buying property and they're checking your credit, what they're looking at, and we kind of talked about this earlier about, is your credit score as important as you think? Probably not. Why? Because how many properties can you buy based on not just your credit, but on your job income and your debt to income ratio? And what they're really looking at is that, and some of this has to do with before taxes and after taxes, but if you're getting a mortgage, they don't want to loan you out more than, or they don't want your mortgage payment to be more than 40% of your monthly income. And that's if the before tax one. If it's after taxes, they don't want your mortgage to be more than 30% of your monthly income. So if your monthly income is $10,000, which is $120,000 a year, is a significant income. The most you're probably going to be able to get on a mortgage is about $4,000 a month. Now that may sound like a lot, but once you get into second and third property, you're already going to be over that 40% of your monthly income. This is why your credit score, when it comes to residential mortgages, is pretty limited. And so even if you have a great credit score and you make good money, you're still looking at these numbers here. And what this is making sure we understand is that we can only borrow so much in this world based on these numbers. Obviously, if your income goes up, you can borrow a little bit more. But even if you're getting money from from rent, they're only going to probably credit you about 75% of that. So if your rent is $1,000 a month that you're getting on a property, they're only going to give you credit for about $750 because they know there's going to be vacancies. They know there's going to be other issues with rental property, so they want to mitigate their risk. Why do banks have big, tall, nice buildings? Is because they mitigate their risk. What we really want to take home from this point right here is that there's only so many single-family house mortgages, residential mortgages we can get. And what you're going to find out is banks will tap you out at a certain amount of mortgages, even if your debt to income is still good. So what we want to really find out is how do we start creatively financing things at different levels. We've been talking about a lot of that. We're going to talk about some more stuff. We're going to talk about the next type of mortgages, commercial mortgages, on the next video. Look forward to seeing you guys on the path.